Hi, Pep. You've got these three long-haul away games, and quite a few players out missing. Does the fact you've got so much travelling involved, does that make it more difficult this next week or so?
No. Okay, it's the same. So it's what it is. So we see what happened and travels, let's recover. But I would say we are used to playing these situations, circumstances. Not maybe in this extreme, but in these situations. But the players getting come back. So and some of them that were out, and today they trained really good. So maybe they can help us for a few minutes and tomorrow. So and at the end, the circumstances are right now. But except Rodri, unfortunately, the rest sooner or later they're going to come back.
You spoke in pre-season, Pep, about your sort of worries about the start of the season because of the lack of pre-season that so many players have had. But we're nearly at 10 games and you're top of the league. Have they surprised you, your players, with what they've done already this season?
I know they are capable of. So they are extraordinary. So I'm really pleased. What can I say? I'm really pleased for the way we played and the game's Spurs last moment. So fighting until the end to equalize and fighting to go through and to continue. So I'm really pleased.
Hi, Pep. The game on Tuesday, the fact that his players, Amarin's, know that he's leaving, will that make them harder to play because they want to play more for him, or easier because they think, well, the boss is going, so we can sort of subconsciously slacken off?
Sorry.
The fact that Sporting's players know...
Sporting.
Yeah.
I stood the Spurs. The Sporting player, yeah.
Yeah, know that their manager's going to leave soon. Will that make them harder to play for you in this game because they might be more inspired, or do you think it's easier?
You have to ask him, to the journalist from Portugal.
But you're the manager.
Now he's distracted texting a message, so that's why he's not listening to you. So that's why you ask him, and he will know how the...
But do you expect
Sporting players? I expect the best.
Yeah.
I expect the best. So the best advice we can have is that when you play in an opponent, it's always the best performance. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure they will do. It's Champions League against Man City, so. But you have to understand that my concern now is not that.
Just because I think you mentioned it the other day, and because of the injuries, was there much of a debate about when you let Alvarez go, not replacing him as a sort of out-and-out striker deputy for Erling, just in case the worst could happen to Erling? Or did you discuss that? Was that something that maybe you would need a deputy in case he went down?
Well, when you don't expect to have 8, 9, or 7, or 6, or 7, 8 injuries, or problems at the same time. So when you have these injuries, always the squad is short. When everyone is fit, is available, and it happens. So when we won 4 times in a row the Carabao Cup, like how serious always have been, always because in the first stage, second stage, third stage, until I would say semi-finals, always play the guys like playing the last games in the Premier League in that specific moment. Always the play, go through, and arrive semi-finals, okay, go for it. But when we don't have players, listen, there are many wars to fight. In a season, you have to choose which ones. And of course, against the Spurs with Erling, we are stronger. But we have a lot of problems right now, and I'm focusing on other things. So sometimes it's what it is. So and the players behave. I know the people judge results, but I'm more than pleased. And the way we played, for example, the last game, especially last game.
Hi, Pep. You said that at City you've never had an injury crisis like this. Have you ever experienced anything like this in your career as a player or manager before that?
Some years, yeah. I played semi-final Champions League in Bayern Munich with 7 players out. So sometimes happen. So in the right moment, you have to be ready. When you win the treble, it's because in the right moments, we were there, all the squad. Without that, you can fight for 1 title. You can be there, but you cannot fight for more. It's impossible, but literally impossible, because the human beings have a limit, because the rhythm is so high, intensity, the opponents are so strong. And when we are all together, wow, we can compete for everyone, no competitions, but it's not the case. And in that moment, hopefully, when we arrive now Premier League and Champions League, and especially, FA Cup, we can be the players. But it's where it is. So I said since the first moment in the press conference, so we are not the only ones can happen. So we take care of them really well. We are incredible, take care of yourself. This is our target, and sometimes for no reason happen.
Hi, Pep. You talked about the limit there that human beings have. So when you've got a situation now with lots of injuries, the ones who are fit, how much can you push them? Because you must be thinking, you don't want John Stones to get injured, you don't want Erling to get injured. But in these next 3 games, they're probably going to have to play every one. They probably can't come off either. So how do you manage that situation with how much you can demand from them?
Here, they have used to play with some pain. You know, when you are injured, when the injury can be, or the niggles that can be danger. A part of that, when it happens, you have to. Today, the modern football, all the players play with pain. Most all of them, the regular players. So there are moments when injured. It's happened. When you are be careful in this part of the body. Be careful. But sometimes you are, problems. You have to play. Rafael Nadal played all his career with pain, and he played. He have I don't know how many Grand Slams. So you have to deal with that in modern football. Otherwise, you cannot sustain every 3 days in the top clubs.
Have you always had, in your 9 years here, you've obviously had lots of different players and it's changed a lot, but have you always had players like that? Is that why you've been able to go through periods in the past where there's been lots of injuries, but you've been able to adapt? Obviously, they're versatile, but they're obviously tough.
We will adapt. We will adapt as well tomorrow and the next game, I'm pretty sure. We have an incredible group of players. The mentality, they're so strong in the tough moments, being a step forward. So this is what you do this week. This week is so important before international break. And for the difficulty, the games away in Premier League and Champions League, and you have to do the rest for before the international.
And sorry, I know you get asked about De Bruyne every week, but it's because every time we ask, you say he doesn't quite feel right. But is he getting there now?
He's getting better. Yeah. Last 2, 3, 4 days, the doctor said to me, make a step forward in terms of pain.
This season, the injuries feel like they've been slightly longer than they have in previous years, maybe, where a 2-week one might end up being a 3 or 4 week one. Do you think how much of that is players being exceptionally careful of their own bodies, given what we talk about with the schedule and things like that?
Yeah, they have definitely today. You have to be. It's impossible to. It's literally to say 24 hours a day. You have to think about it. The 24 hours, no, but 23, yeah. So you have to be incredible focus in your body, in your job, and the less distractions are possible, and be focused in the modern football, in the top clubs that play every 3 days, and especially after winning a lot, you have to be more and more focused on that. Otherwise, just thinking what you have done and just a little bit less than you have done in the past, you cannot sustain it.
But do you think players are being more careful so they're maybe withholding their return a little bit for fear of exacerbating an injury?
It depends on the players. There are players that sustain, okay, I'm ready, and the other ones, for the historial, like that players, don't tell me, it's the human nature, so everyone is different, everyone. There are players that they have more tendency to get niggles or problems, and the other ones, it doesn't matter what happened, they go and go. It's not because they were more or less, no. So it's nature that the players are more adapt, to sustain incredible amount of efforts daily, every day, more than the other ones.
And obviously the comments the other night about, which you've repeated today, about the focus and living it 24 hours and things like that. Have you seen every single member of the squad acting that way this season?
Yeah.
Hi, Pep. You've always talked in the past and explained why you like working with small squads. Obviously, you don't like to disappoint players. You don't want players out of the squad for a long period of time. Does a period like this make you reevaluate that next year if you come back? Might you work with a bigger squad, or in the future, if you have another job, might you work with bigger squads in case you get another situation like this?
Yeah, if next season I know that it will be 7, 8 injuries, yeah, I would say I want more players. If I know it's not injuries, I don't want it. I don't like to see players. All I have to do is work with them and say, guys, 24 hours. So sleep every single minute of your life thinking of your profession. Has to be like that.
And just about one more about Amarin, if I may. You've always talked about the challenge that Jurgen posed when you came here, and he sort of raised your game. And then I guess now Mikel Arteta's doing the same thing, helping raise your game. When you see a young manager, one of the best, most highly regarded young managers in Europe, come to this country, you're going to play him on Tuesday, you'll play him again in the derby in a few weeks. Is that the kind of thing that motivates you, that gives you a sort of added interest and enjoyment out of the job, is pitting yourself against different managers?
Yeah. It's not specific for the new manager from United. Unai Emery is here, Iraola is here, and many top managers. Yeah, every manager has new challenges, new ideas, and of course I prove myself. I said Jurgen, and now because the world are rivals and because it was many years, so how many times we face Jurgen, or in that case Mikel, in the last 4 or 5 years, many times. As it's normal, as much you play with them, and always they are there fighting with you to be your team to be champion. It's normal that at the end, with other clubs, play 2 times maybe a season or more. The rest is much more. But of course, every I said I'm completely honest. I learn a lot when I see the other managers. I learn a lot, and the problems they can create. After the game, I said, oh God, they have done that. They create problems here, there. Next game against them, we have to be careful to do that, and you make you better. It's simple to analyze, but it's the truth. And of course, every match in that case, United manager is going to happen for sure.
Hi Pep. Can I just check something? The other night you referred to the FA Cup final last season, and you said
it was a joke, my friends. It was a joke. I said I'm so bad, to make a joke that you get it. So of course we were ready. They beat us fairly, but of course after win the Premier League, we have to celebrate it. My guys are really good on the pitch, but off the pitch are really good too. So, and they have to celebrate it. Otherwise, what sense? 11 months to win the Premier League with 1 or 2 or 3 days. But they trained really well on Thursday, Friday, 2 days before the final, and they were better. United deserves to win. We can analyze some episodes, but they deserve it. We congratulate them, and that's all. So, I don't make excuses because we were not ready. We were ready, and they were better. That's all. And it's not a joke.
Okay.
No.
And you spoke about the youth players, bringing them up. Is it difficult sometimes to know when to put the youth players in? Because it might be very easy to say, right, I'll just throw in the youth players. But is it sometimes you have to know exactly when?
No, listen. When you have all the squad fit and have problems with players like have a lot today now, they don't play. And play the guys with fit. But the problem is we have not much players and have a lot, like, I don't know. That's why we have to only be gambling. If take a risk with this player, take not a risk, and that is the doubt that we have when we have in this situ. Have players that can play maybe 20 minutes, no more than that. There are players who can start, but maybe I don't know who's going to sure. So we have few now. This is a little bit the problem we have right now, but it's where it is. We try to be smart and talk with the players and see, because all the players depend on our recent app, but I'm ready. And the other one said, Pep, I don't know. Okay. So at the end, the decisions make it will be a lot with how the players feel. I'm not in the hamstring of the players, in the ankle of the players. I'm not there. They have to tell us most of the times. There are players said, it doesn't matter, take a risk. And the other ones, said, no, Pep is better because you're injured. I will be 7 weeks out or 6 weeks out. And said, okay, don't do that. And now we are in this position. Like I said, with many teams today. So there are a lot of teams with this situation. That's normal.